Hi, this is Caitlin Liu. I'll be walking you through the 6th grade worksheet. So the first sheet that you should have gotten says 5th grade review because we want to review what we did the year before we start our new school year. So this first direction tells us to write the following numbers in expanded form. And what that means is that you want to have each house as a separate number, and you want to find the sum of them. So you want to add them all together to create this number. Now you have these two houses, the tenths and the hundredths house, that you notice that they both have zeros. So you don't have to do anything for those because 0 anything is just nothing and you don't need to put it there. But for the rest of them, the first number that we see here is a 4, and you have to find out which place it's in, and it's in the thousandths place, which is 3 decimal points away from after 1. And so we want to go 0, okay, put this a little smaller, 0.004. Now we have the 3 next, and you want to add it to it, now there's 3 spaces before it, so you want to do 0003, and then you want to go on. Notice that this is 0, so you don't need to do anything with it. You just need to make sure you count the 2 correctly. So it'll be 0 point, let's see how many spaces there are before it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the 2. So if you add these 3 numbers up together, they should give you this. That's what you want to make sure. Now similarly, you have these that are not a decimal, they are whole numbers. This 54, so you want to add 50 plus 4 because you want to separate the 5 and the 4 and make them 2 digits. And then you can add 0.3 and add 0.004 and add 0.0004. So I hope that gives you a good idea of what expanded form means if you did not learn it or don't remember it from 5th grade because it's been a long summer. Next up, it says write the corresponding decimal or percent. Okay, so decimal and percent, remember that like the first one gives you a number. This is not a percent. If it was a percent, it would have a percentage sign like this. But this one is a number or a decimal because it has a decimal. So excuse me. And when you want to go from a decimal or a number to a percent, you want to move this decimal point 2 times to the right. Now you may say, well, there's nothing there. What am I supposed to do? Well, you add a 0 right there. So it's 2,930, actually no, 29,000, my bad. 29,380%, because you're changing it into percent, so you need the percentage sign. Now, if you're going backwards from a percentage to a decimal, you want to move the 2 decimal points to the left, because you want to go the opposite way. So it'd be 0.462, and you don't need a percentage sign because it's not a percent anymore. This one, you want to move it to this way, and it gives you 2.1%. Remember, the 0 doesn't exist anymore at the front. You only count the zeros that are at the back of the number. That's not entirely true either when it comes to decimals. But for this one, percentage, you want to move this back this way, so this gives you the number 39.5. See, in this case, the 0 at the back is obsolete because it adds nothing to the number. But if it was like a 39.05, then that is a different scenario. You can't just take the 0 out of there. Now, moving on to the next page, this is saying test prep. So A, in Miss Hewlett's class, there are 2.00 times as many girls as there are boys. What's the expanded form of 2.007? So notice that this information doesn't give us anything because the question is asking us what's the expanded form of 2.007. That's all we need to know. Now let's look at the first one. This one has 2, right? And it's 1, 2, 3 zeros. Well, this one is 7 here and a 1. Well, that's not right. This one is 2.00, and 1 plus 6 is in the same place. You can add it together, 7. Well, that looks right, but let's just check the other ones just in case. This is 2 plus 0.000. This just equals 0. And now it's 2 plus 7, which is 9. Now, this one gives us 2.007. So, in this scenario, you would get B and D. B asks, if there are 17 boys in her class, the nearest whole number, how many girls are in Miss Hewlett's class? And so, using this information now we can use, because it's both question 1, so you can use both the information. It says there are 2.077 times as many girls as there are boys. So you want to take the 17 boys and multiply it by the 2.007. Now if we do that, we get 91143. So that's to the nearest whole number. So you want to, there's 3 decimal points here, so you want to do 3 here, 34. And they want nearest whole number. This is not a whole number. This is a decimal number. Maybe this. This is a similar type of table question where you use a table to answer both questions. So we are going to move on to whole number operations, which tells us to show our work. So I'm going to do this really quickly because I'm assuming this is all review for you guys. 6 plus 23 is 29, minus 15 would be 14. 77 plus 3 is equal to 80, plus 18 is equal to 98, and plus 12 is equal to 110. 13 minus 4 is equal to 9, plus 17 is equal to 26, plus 233 is equal to 259. This is 7 plus 2 equals 9, plus 4 equals 13, plus 2 equals 15, 16, plus 27 is equal to 43. And this one, 56. 56 times 12 is something I'll have to do over here. Let's see if I can do this quickly. 7, 0, 1, 672 up here. See, now this one's pretty hard, but anything multiply 1 is just the number itself, so we can do 39 times 58, 2, 7, 31, 5, 4, 19, 2, 6, 2, 2. I'm going to multiply this by 2, so it gives us 4, 2, 5, 2. This will be your answer. And then this last problem I'm going to let you do on your own. Multiplying decimal by tens. Multiply it by 1 0, so you move it 1 space. Multiply by 2, so you want to move it 2. Multiply it by 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to move this 4 spaces, which gets the zeros. You get 3 zeros, 840. And on to the last page, which asks, these are word problems, which use the same exact operations that we learned before, so I'm going to leave it here for you guys to do. That's all for this week. See you next week.